Wow. These shows are total opposites in terms of tone, despite the fact that they share name, concepts, and the general idea that is The Office. Where the US version of The Office is at times outlandish comedy with in-your-face hilarity mixed with down-to-earth moments and optimism for the future, you know it has a mainstream appeal for mass consumption. It seems that The Office, the UK version, on the other hand, would air on Adult Swim with how mature its tone, humor, and cynical outlook on life is. There is rarely any optimism in this show, and I like that the show is just being real and upfront with me about that. Because it's kind of the truth. It's not too often that things go right.
So what becomes of you, my love, when they have finally stripped you off the handbags and the glad rags that your granddaddy had to sweat so you could buy?
A lot of the story for the 2 series and 2 Christmas specials are pretty identical to the first 3 seasons of the US version. So because I know that most viewers watching this probably watch the US version and only the US version, I don't think I have to recap much. Tim is my favorite character in this series. He's a lot more likable than Jim, and he's far from perfect when it comes to his approach with Dawn, and that he wants to pursue bigger things but can't get the ball rolling because he's comfortable. He's secure. While he hates his job and can't stand some of his coworkers, he's still there at the beginning of every workday. I'm sure some of us have and are in that position where we want to change, but are also hesitant about change. I know I am. The same can be said for Dawn. She wanted to pursue a career as an illustrator, but lack of support and need for money to stay afloat stopped her from doing so. Gareth is less extreme than Dwight as he's more calm. I could believe Gareth running a branch. Although he's socially inept, he is good at his job and not really the butt of Dave's jokes as Dwight is with Michael. Then of course there's Dave Brent, the main character of the series. He's different from Michael. Example, remember when Michael called Oscar faggy and it turned out he was gay? He tries to justify that he does it to everyone and then apologizes and learns his lesson by the end of the episode. While David would do the same thing, and then when someone tries to call him out on it, he won't apologize for being in the wrong, and usually the episode would end with him not learning his lesson because comedians don't back down from telling jokes. Did I mention that David is a self-proclaimed comedian? David's problem is that he wants to be liked and respected, which is why he does the things he does in the show, and why he puts up with guys like Chris Finch. The performances throughout the show are great, but the best in my eyes is easily Ricky Gervais. He delivers such subtlety and nuances with this character, easily steals the spotlight. It's also nice to see Martin Freeman acting at an earlier date. Look how far he's come. Now, I know that this show wasn't on air very long, but a lot of the characters that they could have developed or used for interesting stories were relegated to the background, only focusing on 2 salesmen, the receptionist, and their boss. It's a problem I have with both versions of The Office. Along with at least being a 3-season run, there was a lot more to explore with these characters. And if you don't like this version for the tone it has, I understand, it's not for everyone. I don't want to start a war in the comments, but I like this version a lot more than the US version. And I still like the US version, but I feel like this show captured more what it's like to work at an office job. There is no hope. You're backed into a corner and you need the money. I feel like, to an extent, that was some of the point of the UK version. There is no gaining in a job like this outside financially and promotion-wise. There's no fun to be had, you're just stuck in a circle. What I'm trying to say is I like this version because it has a little mainstream appeal. It doesn't end on a good note a lot of the time, and rarely do the characters learn from their mistakes and move forward. Normally I want character progression and for the characters to be different by the end of the story, but because this is a mockumentary about real people, we don't get that because most of the time in the real world, people don't learn from their mistakes and will repeat the same ones again and again and again. I will give The Office UK version, a recommendation.
It isn't about endings, is it? It's a series of moments. And it's like if you turn the camera off, it's not an ending, is it? I'm still here. My life's not over. Come back here in 10 years. See how I'm doing then. Because I could be married with kids. You don't know. Life just goes on.
Again, I like both series for different reasons, and this is just my opinion. I'm Lena Mars of Gaming Save Productions crew, and I'll see you next time.
The handbags and the glad rags that your granddad had to sweat so you could buy.